My name is Bill Hanna. I'm with EMBDC. It's great to have you with us today. What a day. I'm going to introduce you to Cole Cardwell. He's our chairman of EMBDC. Cole, come on out.
Good afternoon again. As Bill said, my name is Cole Cardwell, and as the chairman of the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, I'd like to welcome you to the 28th annual meeting of the EMBDC. Technically, this is our 2024 meeting, but we pushed it a couple months just for this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and direct your attention to the stage for the invocation given this afternoon by Dr. Rhett Payne, Senior Pastor of First Presbyterian Church. Following the prayer, remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Naval Air Station Meridian Color Guard and the National Anthem to be sung by our very own Todd Tilghman.
Good afternoon. Let us pray. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. The psalmist says, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His mercy endures forever. And so, Holy Father, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for the EMBDC, for the leadership of our president and CEO, Bill Hanna. We thank you for the leadership support and the presence of our governor, Tate Reeves. We thank you for all the leadership from the state's congressional delegation. We thank you for all of our local leaders, our mayor, the city council, our board of supervisors. And today, Father, we are thankful for those past leaders in Meridian and Lauderdale County whose vision prepared us for today. We are thankful for those business and community leaders who continue to work together for the good of this community. And today, we are especially grateful for Mr. AJ Byers of Compass Datacenters for their willingness to bring their business and expertise to Meridian. In this, the annual meeting of the EMBDC, may there be a sense of accomplishment and enthusiasm for what the future holds for our community. And Father, for all of that, our future and the peace and the prosperity we long for, we place in your hands that your will and purpose may be done on earth as it is in heaven. Through Jesus Christ our Lord we pray. Amen. Amen. Please remain standing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the
may be seated. All right, let's begin our program by recognizing and welcoming our elected officials. Please stand as you are recognized. Senator Wicker and Senator Hyde-Smith, Congressman Michael Guest, the Lauderdale County Legislative Delegation, and also legislators from our surrounding counties, the Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors, the Mayor of Meridian, along with the Meridian City Council, the Mayor of Meridian and Town of Meridian Alderman. Thank you all for being with us today. We'd also like to welcome other distinguished guests this afternoon. From the Mississippi Development Authority, Executive Director Bill Cork. From Accelerate Mississippi, Executive Director Dr. Courtney Taylor. The Mississippi Public Service Commission, Commissioner DeKeither Stamps. Mississippi Department of Transportation, Commissioner Willie Simmons. The leadership of Mississippi Power Company is here with us today, and thank you all for being with us. Leaders from Mississippi State University, Meridian Community College, represented by Dr. Tom Hubner, the Meridian Public School District, and the Lauderdale County Public School District, as well as the rest of our economic development partners. Thank you all for being with us today. Now, this is a day we've been waiting for in this community for a long, long time, and we have some very distinguished speakers to help us celebrate. First, please let me introduce Dr. Mark Keenum, President of Mississippi State University, who without a doubt was one of the main players responsible for turning around our downtown. Dr. Keenum became Mississippi State's 19th president, January 5th, 2009. Dr. Keenum has a very impressive resume, suffice it to say. He's grown student enrollment, he's grown MSU's foundation, he's grown MSU's campus, he's grown MSU's research, he's grown MSU's supercomputing capacity, which seems appropriate for today's meeting. He's grown MSU's scholarships, he's grown MSU's faculty, and most of all, he's grown Mississippi State's presence in Meridian, and we are all thankful for it. Dr. Keenum, welcome to the EMBDC annual meeting.
Well, welcome to Mississippi State University. Yeah. I am excited to be here today in this beautiful Grand Opera House. This is a fabulous facility here. This is one of my favorite facilities with Mississippi State University. It's my favorite place to have our commencement exercises right here in this beautiful facility. Now, this facility is over 130 years old. And it has seen many events over its 130 plus year life. But I dare say there's any event that this Grand Opera House has been a part of that's more impactful for this city, this community, than what we're here to celebrate today. So I am thrilled to be here on behalf of our university to welcome Compass Datacenters and Mr. AJ Byers and his team to Meridian, to welcome our esteemed Governor Tate Reeves for his visionary work and all that he does for our state and growing our economy. And of course, the leadership of Mississippi Power Company and its president and CEO, Anthony Wilson. And for all of you who are here, I see so many good friends and so many leaders here in this community who are having an impact here every single day. And I want to say thank you all for what you do for Meridian, Mississippi, and Mississippi State University. And of course, Bill Hanna and the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation, your vision, your leadership, your passion for your community. This is your time. You have worked so hard and so passionately for this great investment that is going to have such an impact for years and years to come. Congratulations to each and every one of you for all that you have done. And of course, we wouldn't even be here on the Riley campus of Mississippi State University in this beautiful Grand Opera House if it were not for a group of visionary community leaders who had a vision for their community of Meridian in Lauderdale County. And that was the Riley Foundation Board of Directors, more than a quarter of a century ago, who made a decision to impact their community in a positive way and make strategic investments to make Meridian a great community. And here we are as a result of those visionary leaders of the Riley Foundation. So I want to thank the Riley Foundation for their commitment and their support of this wonderful community. Yes. As I mentioned, the Mississippi Power Company, this Compass Datacenter is going to use a lot of electricity. Quite a bit of electricity, 500 plus megawatts, and that is a lot of electricity. It could not do what it's going to be called upon to do without a partner, an energy partner. And that's where Mississippi Power Company has come in to make that commitment on behalf of this corporation to serve this community. And it is a commitment that is absolutely tremendous. Now, I know a little bit about data centers. As Cole mentioned, Mississippi State University on our Starkville campus, we have a supercomputing data center on our campus in the Malcolm Patera Supercomputing Center at Mississippi State. That one building consumes more energy on our campus than all of the other 450 buildings on our campus, that one building. And because of the leadership and the vision of our governor, Tate Reeves, the state of Mississippi is building us another supercomputing data center right across the street from our current data center. And it will consume even more electricity than the other Malcolm Patera computing center. In fact, we had to build a substation on our campus to work with our energy provider just to have enough electricity to meet the needs of this one additional supercomputing center that we're currently building that will be finished this coming summer. Mississippi State, by the way, is the 4th ranked university in the entire nation among all colleges and universities in supercomputing capacity. So we know a little bit about supercomputing and data centers on our campus at Mississippi State. And so we're committed to working with Governor Reeves, to working with Compass Datacenters in this community to make sure that we are educating and equipping the professionals to work and serve this industry right here in Meridian, Mississippi. We have one of the leading national academic programs in our Bagley College of Engineering for computer science, computer engineering, data science, cybersecurity. And we have the only program in the state of Mississippi in artificial intelligence. We are committed to preparing, the next generation of skilled professionals to work and serve this industry and the other industries that will be coming to Lauderdale County and to Meridian, Mississippi. And we're going to help make sure that we have many, many, many more Mississippi State graduates living and working right here in the hometown of Mississippi State University, and that's Meridian, Mississippi. On behalf of our great university, we want to say to Mr. Byers and the leaders of Compass Datacenters, welcome to this wonderful, wonderful community. We are going to have great, great success in the years to come. So may God bless you all. And as we love to say here in Meridian, hail, dear old state. Thank you.
Governor Tate Reeves is the 65th governor of the great state of Mississippi. We all know Governor Reeves as a conservative leader who has literally made economic development one of his top priorities. And in doing so, he has proven that our state can compete against other SEC states for large projects and win. Governor Reeves is leading our state in yet another record-breaking year, and it's just January, in both jobs and investment for our citizens. Thank you, Governor Reeves, for your relentless work to improve the lives of Mississippi citizens in Lauderdale County and across this state. It's always a pleasure having you with us, and today it's especially significant as you help us welcome Compass Datacenters to Meridian, Lauderdale County, and Mississippi. Governor, welcome to EMBDC's annual meeting.
Good afternoon. It's great to be back in East Central Mississippi, in Meridian, in this historic theater on this historic day. As we all know, we're going to break ground just a few minutes later on Compass Datacenters' new hyperscale data center campus. When it's all said and done, this project will represent $10 billion, that's with a B, $10 billion in new private sector investment, and it will be tied for the single largest economic development project in Mississippi history. And it's being built right here in Lauderdale County, Mississippi. What a way to start the new year. I don't know what we're going to do in February. I think some of my people probably have already quit and saying they don't want to have to be held accountable to something like this. Look, I want to just take a moment to thank some people who have really worked incredibly hard over a long time to make today become a reality. First, I want to thank the entire team at Compass Datacenters, particularly President AJ Byers, for what they have done, the due diligence they have done, the work they have put into this project, and for making the commitment to invest their capital in the great state of Mississippi. I also want to thank Anthony Wilson and the entire team at Mississippi Power, which will be providing approximately 500 megawatts of power to this new facility. Make no mistake, they were instrumental in landing this project, and we were thankful and we are grateful for their efforts. I'd also like to thank everybody on the state's team. Bill Cork, the Mississippi Development Authority, the Mississippi Legislature, the city and the community of Meridian, Lauderdale County for their invaluable support in leading us to this day. A lot of folks have made some hard decisions over many years on the I-2059 Industrial Park, and today that investment leads to even more investment in this community. It would not have happened without all of y'all. As I've said, this nearly $10 billion investment ties the record for the single largest economic development project in Mississippi history. It will create thousands of both direct and indirect jobs, and it represents the latest historic news for our state, the latest historic news for our state's economy, and the latest historic news for our people. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to join you here today to celebrate, and I, like you, can't wait to see the presentation that we're going to get to see here shortly. But with projects like this, much so like what Dr. Keenum mentioned earlier, as well as AWS in the Jackson metro area, what XAI is doing in the North Mississippi area, we're earning a reputation now as a state, as a technological powerhouse. And that is exactly as it should be. Today we are sending a message to every technology company in the country and every technology company in the world. And that message, while important, is actually quite simple. And that is this: Mississippi is open for business. In our state, we have the power, we have the people, and we have the passion to be a leader in American technological innovation. And that's exactly what we're proving every single day. Our economy continues to shatter records. Since I've been governor, we've announced over $32 billion in new CapEx in our state. In the same time, we've announced over 21,000 new jobs from the Delta to the Gulf Coast and everywhere in between. In fact, just earlier today, we announced a $20 million CapEx project that's creating over 250 jobs in Batesville, Mississippi. We're making so many announcements today, we got to announce 2 in the same day. And that's a good thing. Last year, Mississippi had the lowest unemployment rate in state history. Last year, Mississippi had more people working than at any time in state history. Last year, in the third quarter, which is the most recent data that we have, Mississippi had the 3rd fastest GDP growth rate in America, and Mississippi had the 4th fastest growing per capita income rate in America. That's worth celebrating. But I also want you to know that days like today are certainly celebratory, but it's not about the announcement. It's not about the data. It's not about the statistics. It's about our people. Because these kind of investments lead to job opportunities for the people of our state. I'm just going to tell you a quick story. We made an announcement in October of 2022 of what was then the largest capital investment in our state in the Golden Triangle area. It's a little company called Aluminum Dynamics. About 9 months later, I happened to be on the campus of Mississippi State with one of my daughters, and as I was walking by, a gentleman pulled me over, someone I'd never met, and although I'd eaten in his restaurant, and he told me who he was. And he told me that the day that we made that announcement in the Golden Triangle of Aluminum Dynamics, he had 19 employees at his restaurant. 9 months later, he had 87 employees in his restaurant. And so while the jobs that are going to be created both in the construction phase and otherwise, we'll spend a lot of time talking about, but it's those opportunities for other people in other industries that are going to help feed this economic growth that's going to occur here in East Central Mississippi. And I will tell you, my view is there's never been a greater time to be a Mississippian, and I couldn't be prouder of all the work that y'all have done over many, many years to make this the kind of community that a company like AJ and Compass wants to invest in. So while we celebrate and we want to congratulate our friends in the company and everyone else, I want to congratulate you, the people of Meridian, the people of Lauderdale County, the people of East Central Mississippi, because y'all are the reason we're here today. Thank y'all, and God bless.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Governor. Next, we have Anthony Wilson. Anthony is Chairman, President, and CEO of Mississippi Power, which provides clean, safe, reliable, and affordable electricity to Southeast Mississippi. It is a subsidiary of Southern Company, one of the nation's largest energy companies. Anthony is a statewide advocate for economic development, workforce development, and education. And like our other distinguished speakers today, Anthony's resume is very impressive. For us today, however, he's the one who shepherded the Compass Datacenter project to our community. made this project a reality for Meridian, Lauderdale County, and for that, we will be eternally grateful. Thanks to you and your team for believing in Meridian, for working with the state, our county, and our city to make Compass Datacenters a reality for our community. Anthony, welcome to EMBDC's annual meeting.
Good afternoon. It is indeed an honor on this very, very special day to be here with you today, to be with Governor Reeves, Dr. Keenum, AJ Byers. It's a special day for all of us to be here. So I'm so glad to be here. Many of you may know my family and I lived here in Meridian for about 5 years, several years back. And it's a very special place in my heart because of that. As the division manager of Mississippi Power at that time, it was a perfect time to grow my family up. I had 3 young daughters, and matter of fact, they think of Meridian as their hometown. They were not born here, but they were very young when we moved here, so it's home to them. And they'll still tell anybody who asks them, where's your hometown? And they'll say Meridian, Mississippi. So it's exciting for me to be able to do this. And it was also a pivotal time in my career because we were in process of moving from here on to Atlanta. And by grace of God, I worked my way back to Mississippi. So we're glad to be here. You know, it's always fun to come to Meridian because I see so many familiar faces, and I still have lifelong friends here. So it is a treat for me to get to be back just to see the faces. But more importantly today is to talk about this great new friend and partner that we have in Meridian. So we're excited about that. Welcome, AJ, to Meridian. I think you'll find it to be just as welcoming as my family did several years back. This project is the culmination of just a lot of hard work, and it's a shining example of what a public-private partnership can be. It took a long time to be able to pull together all the resources needed, but when it came together, you have what we are here to celebrate today. It's a very impressive company, and we were glad to be able to form the relationship with them and invite them to Meridian. The economic landscape of our state, as the governor said, is changing. Mississippi is becoming a leader in cutting-edge technology throughout the coast, all the way from the coast all the way to the northern boundaries, and now right here in Meridian. And I think it's also changing the world's perception of Mississippi, and that's a good thing for all of us. Like Compass, the companies that's in this domain, the data center domain, they're all in a race, and I think AJ would tell you, and they're all looking for areas with great sites and with reliable energy. And Meridian is blessed to have both. And that is rare, I can tell you, and I think AJ would agree with me on that. Over the last decade, a lot of work has been done on the I-2059 industrial park property to make it more attractive to developers. And that played a major role in this site. I've often thought, and I've mentioned to the governor before, this site, I thought, was probably one of the best sites, if not the best site in the state of Mississippi. And I think Compass agreed with us. And we're welcoming them in today to be part of our community. Lauderdale County and MSU, Bill Hanna especially, also made significant investments in this site to make it as shovel-ready as it could possibly be. We moved a significant substation onto the site just to make sure that there was adequate power for any customer that was shopping for a world-class site. So all of that coming together, I think, made that site an easy selection. Our economic development team, along with MDA, the county, and EMBDC, have been courting suitors for a while, as you know, and now it's officially off the market. I think we can all smile for that one, right? Mississippi Power has capacity and record of reliability that's needed for these kind of facilities. But at the same time, we're continuing to do the engineering necessary and preparation necessary to be ready for the next one, and then the next one. I think that's what a growing Mississippi needs and deserves. When completed, the Compass Data Center will be our largest customer in the state of Mississippi. For 6 decades, the Pascagoula Chevron refinery was the largest load. This data center is 2 times the electric load of the Chevron refinery. So let me give you a sense of what 500 megawatts, I know that's a crazy term, that's in my world. 500 megawatts, that's the equivalent of building 500 super Walmarts on that site. That's what the electric load is for that facility. Mississippi is in an unprecedented period of growth, and our generation and power delivery teams are constantly, as I said, planning for the next facility. It's a very exciting time for our company. Mississippi Power this year is celebrating a centennial year, marking 100 years of power and progress in the great state of Mississippi. In fact, you may not realize it, but our economic development team is the oldest such organization in the state of Mississippi. We were the grandfathers of economic development in the state. So, having said all that, I want to thank the governor for his leadership, thank AJ and his company for choosing our state, and I want to thank all of you for all of the heavy lifting that you did to make this a reality. So many of you were involved in this. I can't even begin to thank all of you, but suffice it to say that many, many hands were involved in making this happen, and we thank you for it. I think this is absolutely just the beginning of great, great things for Meridian and Lauderdale County. Thank you.
And finally, what we've all been waiting for. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome Mr. AJ Byers, President of Compass Datacenters, to Meridian, Lauderdale County, and Mississippi. Mr. Byers, welcome to Meridian, Mississippi. We've been waiting a long, long time for you and Compass Datacenters to make your way to our community. AJ Byers is President and Chief Development Officer of Compass Datacenters. He has over 20 years of experience in the data center industry with a focus on leading companies into prominence. He was previously the president and CEO of Root Data Centers, the fastest growing wholesale data center provider in Canada, and president of Rogers Data Centers, where he led the development of one of Canada's largest data center service companies. Mr. Byers, welcome to Meridian, and welcome to the EMBDC annual meeting.
Good afternoon. And thank you to Dr. Keenum, Governor Reeves, and Anthony for all your kind words and support. I have to say before I get into this, I've been to data center launches all over the world, and I've never felt so welcome as I felt here today. Thank you. A big thank you to MSU for hosting, and EMBDC and Bill Hanna for coordinating this amazing event. It is with great excitement that we're here today. Projects of this size take an enormous amount of effort from many different people and groups. And the journey from start to finish can be challenging. For a region and state where large-scale, hyperscale data center deployments are not as common, we are extremely pleased with how smooth everything has gone. And this is in thanks to a lot of dedicated people and organizations. I hope I don't forget anyone, but we at Compass want to extend our sincerest gratitude to the East Mississippi Business Development Corporation for their foresight with respect to positioning the site for development just a few years ago, and then opening the doors for investment and coordinating so many parts of our path to today. The Mississippi Development Authority for its investment in the site, making it ready to build and creating attractive investment terms for companies like Compass. The Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors, the City of Meridian City Council, Richmond Alexander from Engineering Plus, and the entire team at Mississippi Power for being creative and working with what some might consider fairly challenging customer requirements. Anthony, you have a great team, and we appreciate your efforts. I think most of you have been working with Bobby from my team. Bobby, thank you for your hard work and dedication to representing Compass as a committed and dedicated partner to the communities that we work with. You have all been amazing partners, very engaged and responsive. Your Southern hospitality has shone throughout this journey. We were able to go from an idea to today's groundbreaking celebration in what we would consider record time. And now we can push forward to delivering an awesome data center campus here in Meridian, Mississippi. Let's talk a little bit about the Mississippi Advantage. As many of the larger cities across the US are becoming more difficult to locate viable data center deployments, we looked to find a location that was uniquely positioned to meet the needs of our customers. The state, and Meridian specifically, is uniquely situated on one of the major fiber routes across the southern US, which provides for distinct advantages and made it a great place to locate the next Compass Data Center campus. I know Governor Reeves has done a lot to bring fiber and high-speed connectivity to Mississippians. Clearly, Mississippi is embracing the digital economy and ready to take advantage of the many benefits it can bring. A bright future is ahead for Mississippi as an attractive location for data centers. For an economy to be successful, it has had historically needed clean water and electricity as a precursor to growth. But today, data gravity is emerging as a third leg of the stool, distinguishing the long-term success of an economy and community. Embracing the digital economy today is similar to welcoming interstate highways systems in the 50s, or the Transcontinental Railroad 100 years before that. These systems brought major economic growth to the communities that were passed through, and Mississippi stands to reap similar rewards in today's data-driven economy by supporting Compass and the entire data center industry. At Compass, we strive to be a good neighbor, and we aim to drive significant value into the communities that we invest in. Like the railroad or an electrical plant, our data centers are designed and built to serve a singular purpose and last for several decades. Given the amount of infrastructure that goes into making a data center fit for purpose, these utility-grade buildings will serve the community for decades by attracting businesses and supporting the region's ability to thrive. Compass's long-term approach and the scale at which we build not only allows but requires customers to employ more workers from the nearby community. So rather than importing service personnel as required, the people and the service centers are located either on or nearby our campuses. At Compass, we place a high value in being a good neighbor, supporting economic development, and being transparent and available to the communities we reside in. In closing, I want everyone to understand that this is a very, very, very important project for Compass. And we are super excited to be working with such great people in such a great community within such a great state. Thank you. I'm going to now ask Bobby from the Compass team, who's been central to this development, to come up and tell you a little bit more about Compass, what we do, and what makes us different.
As Mr. Byers just mentioned, we're going to introduce you to Bobby Koutsaris. He's the Vice President of Development and Land Acquisition for Compass. A number of you may have seen him or met him as he's been in and out of Meridian a lot over the past year, working hard to bring this project to fruition. He has a long history of working in tech and real estate development and has been a pleasure to work with throughout this process. He's going to tell you a bit more about who Compass is, how they build, so that we can get a better feeling for what to expect in the coming years. Bobby?
Thank you, everyone. Before I begin the presentation and share a little bit about who we are, I just want to say a quick thank you to Bill at EMBDC and everybody before me on the stage here. This has been 13 months of work. I've been a part of this project since the very first conversation when we came across the opportunity at the I-2059 Industrial Park, and I'm thrilled that we're at this point today and able to share what we're bringing to the community. So what you saw there, the 100-year campus, that's going to be a running theme in my conversation today. 100-year campus, what we do, we're built to last, we're built to be here for decades. That's what we do, but that's not our purpose. Our purpose is to create world-class data centers for the largest technology companies in the world. But not only that, we're here to be great partners and great members of the communities that we locate in, because we're part of this for decades. We want to be a big part of your big future, and big part of the success of this project is really the people here today. Now, how do you say we're going to be good neighbors? What does that mean? You know, our culture is a fundamental part of our fabric as Compass Datacenters. The North Star of our organization, and I think a good story that I want to share to represent what culture means to us, and not just a bunch of catchy buzzwords and phrases that companies like to throw out there, is truly, to me, the culture is what got us to this point today. Because of the foresight, the work done to create such an attractive piece of property years ago by Meridian and EMBDC, we were not the only people looking at this property. There were a lot of suitors at the table trying to get an opportunity to be standing here today. And our passion, our focus, we want to park our egos. We want to be humble. We want to be curious, ask why. Why is this important to the community? Why is this important to Meridian? What does this land mean to you? And how do we fit into the equation? We weren't here just to buy some dirt, put up a building, and go on our merry way. And it was, in talking to Bill, and I'll let him keep me honest with this, and you guys can corner him later, but it was that collaboration, that level of our culture and how we like to come in and do business is what allowed EMBDC and the county to select Compass, and 13 months later, have us standing here today. Now, a little bit about who we are, where we operate. You know, I know we're not a household name in this room. Data centers are a bit of a different animal. We are a North America and Europe-centric organization. We have, as you can see, quite a few dots across the board from some of the largest data center markets in North America: Phoenix, Dallas, Northern Virginia, Chicago, Toronto, Montreal, across into Europe in Milan, in Israel, and now very excited to have Meridian on this map with us as well. And just to make sure you know, we're not some fly-by-night operation. You know, we are backed by two of the largest investment funds in Brookfield Asset Management and Ontario Teachers Pension. We've combined over $1 trillion in assets under management. We are a fast-growing organization experiencing 40% year-over-year growth, being recognized with Inc. Magazine's one of Inc. Magazine's fastest-growing companies for a second year in a row. As of November of last year, second fastest-growing company in Dallas, and many more accolades we'll throw on the next screen just to share with you all. But a big part of our strength is the fact that we are a privately held organization, which allows us to stay true to our nimble and creative and curious nature. Our job is to be good stewards of the environment and good stewards of the communities that we're a part of, and that environmental sustainability and innovation in the technologies that we utilize at our campuses is made possible because of that, because of our backers and the fact that we are still a privately held organization. Just the affiliations and accolades that over the years that we've earned. So the 100-year campus, you saw a quick video about that at the start of the presentation. What does that mean to us? And as AJ mentioned, we are here for a long time. These are very important, very expensive assets that take a long time to build, a long time to grow into themselves. And what we like to do, we service a very small handful of clients, the largest tech companies in the world. And they came to us and asked, can you please build something at scale, something that we can grow into, not just a one-off building to solve a short-term problem. These buildings allow us to build at scale, which we get the economy of scale and the benefit of that. We also then get to become a pillar in the community by creating long-term jobs, not just transient jobs, become a big economic addition to the community and not just a consumer of resource and power. So what are the key components of a data center? We'll give you the 30,000-foot view of what these buildings are. In the Compass case, these are very large buildings. They're about 250,000 square feet per building. We're looking to put 8 of these buildings on the I-2059 property. The way we like to operate, we're modular driven. Think of it very much like a Lego kit of parts that we manufacture off-site and bring on-site for to put together into our facilities. That's the building. What goes on inside there? You have power, you have cooling, and then the data halls, which is the lifeblood of the facility where our clients put their servers that run all the applications, technologies that we're so accustomed to using from the moment we wake up to the second we go to bed. Now, what makes us unique, and going back to the comment I made earlier around our nimbleness and our desire for innovation and leadership, we've truly become one to follow in the space amongst our peers and colleagues across the data center community. Our leadership had the great vision and foresight to think of data centers as another segment of manufacturing. How do we integrate with our supply chain so that we don't run into project delays, project overruns, and all the challenges that this industry is facing today due to supply chain limitations. We are all about innovation and long-term partnerships. Since our inception in 2011, we have stayed true to our core 3 partners: Schneider Electric, who supports our power centers for the data center, Cummins and their generators for the backup to the power of the facility, and Vertiv for our cooling technologies to expel all the heat that's generated within the four walls. Through those partnerships, it's all about growth and innovation. We're not here to find the cheapest kit of parts that just gets something up. We're here to last, we're built to last. These buildings are meant to run for decades, and in doing so, it's all about innovation with those partners. In Dallas, I think we're the first that can say that we actually stood up a manufacturing plant with Schneider on our campus to provide our power supply, our power centers for our campus, but also the southern US as part of their distribution capabilities. With Cummins, we worked to ensure that we could use hydrogenated vegetable oil instead of diesel to lower our carbon footprint in the diesel generators that traditionally used across this industry. And as of November or December of last year, a very exciting announcement with our cooling partner Vertiv, where we actually co-developed a new liquid cooling technology to allow us to allowed us to make sure our buildings were future-proofed for the demanding and power needs of what AI and the heat and consumption that technology that the tech companies are bringing forward today. So just a key part and something I love to stress, because we are here to be a part of the community. We've been part of our partnership network since day one, and that's a big part of who we are as an organization. Now, again, part of that innovation, that manufacturing approach to how we do things, we're a modular design, we're a kit of parts. 70% of our buildings are prefabricated off-site, shipped to the property, put together like Lego blocks. What that means is more predictable construction, faster construction, more predictable timelines for our clients and our delivery schedules, but most importantly, safety. It eliminates a lot of traffic, a lot of trucks, a lot of chaos on site. It's a safer place to work, a more comfortable place to work for the thousands that will be on that property for many years to come, day in and day out, building these facilities. And what you'll see here is an example of what that modularity means and how quick we can put up a shell of one of these 250,000 square foot buildings. Yeah, so that was only a 45-day time lapse. So, and that gets us to a position where we can start bolting on the parts and getting ready for a turnkey solution for the ultimate end user of the facility. Now again, going back to that concept of the 100-year campus, the whole point is, it's built to last. These things are large facilities, major investments. They need to be able to adapt over time. The way that we've designed these is that everything is external to the building so that we can keep moving out parts, adding new parts that will allow us to adapt to what our clients need. That allows our buildings to not become obsolete. Everything is outside, our clients are inside, and we can keep evolving with them as their technology needs. What's after AI, we don't know. The building's going to be ready for it. Now, that's what we do as a company. We put up data centers, big consumers of electricity. But it's very important for us to be true to sustainability and social impacts as an organization. When we come in and what our intentions are in Meridian, as in any other project we've accomplished, is to make sure that we're maximizing our open space, creating walking trails where appropriate, making sure that's aesthetically appropriate to the community that we're a part of, and we're not just putting up a bunch of big concrete buildings row after row for our campuses. Our goal is to be socially responsible, make sure that our neighbors are not affected, stormwater runoff is protected, the environment is protected, local ecosystems are protected, which is why it takes us such a long time to get from our starting conversation to where we are today, being ready to actually kick off the project. And I know AJ thanked Richmond Alexander and his team at Engineering Plus. They cannot get enough thank yous and kudos from our team, because we put them through quite a hefty checklist to make sure that we could check all these boxes, along with obviously building the facility we want, but making sure that it fit everything else that was important to Compass today. And then, of course, the people in our facilities, diversity across our workforce, creating a safe environment, and supporting both local partners and materials whenever possible to make sure that, again, we're looking inwards, not outwards, with the campuses that we're building. And that sustainability is made in large part possible due to the technologies that we deploy, and again, the partnerships that we have to innovate with our partners. Carbon Cure is a technology that allows us to reduce our CO2 emissions by up to 600 tons per building. We are a waterless facility. We are air-cooled HVAC systems. That in itself represents almost 7 million gallons of water per megawatt saved. For context, this is a 300 plus megawatt project that we're bringing. So if you do that math, the air-cooled nature and again, the sustainability of our design versus many others in the space who are working to catch up to the leaders in which we believe we are in innovation and sustainability. And going back to the safety component, and again with the sustainability technologies, we have on-site batch plants. These are big concrete buildings. By bringing that on-site and allowing us to closely couple our construction with the supply chain, we're saving almost 80 trucks per megawatt of construction on this building. Again, that's 300 plus megawatts, 80 times 80. That's a lot of truck traffic in the communities avoided from an off-site batch plant to the campus. That's road infrastructure, is congestion, safety again for the employees are all mitigated and improved upon again with our sustainability and our functions. I can go on for an hour on a lot of different things here. I will not. Those are just a couple examples I like to share. And again, just that running theme of, these are built to last. These are built to adapt to the changes in technology and our clients and what they're bringing to the communities and to all of us users of all these devices. But safety, again, is a very important pillar for us. And as you see these buildings going up, it is going to look like organized chaos, and it's going to be wonderful when they're all operational and standing there in the next handful of years. So again, I just want to thank everybody from EMBDC, Mississippi Development Authority, Lauderdale County, the City of Meridian, Engineering Plus, and all of our consultants that are in the room, and Mississippi Power and their team that's worked so closely with us for over a year to get to this point. Hail State. Thank you.
Before we transition to a very brief annual meeting, I'd like to invite our four speakers to join us behind this table for a hard hat signing ceremony. Governor Reeves, you've been a part of many economic development successes in communities across our state. In your experience, what can we expect from a project like Compass Data Center, and how will it impact our community?
Well, I think, like you've heard today, what you're going to see is a lot of construction jobs in the early days. That means there are going to be a lot of people in the community. That means a lot of people are eating at your restaurants, a lot of people staying in your hotels. There are going to be a lot of, I was down in Stone County just last year on a particular project, and the local hardware store said that the number of times that this one particular company came in and just picked up something made a huge difference in their bottom line at the end of the year. And so when you start talking in the range of billions of dollars, just the money flow and what that does for the community at large, it really drives a tremendous amount of additional economic activity that you may not even be thinking about today. And so what I would just say is prepare for the opportunities, because they're gonna come. And on a project like this, it's not just going to be over the next month or 2 months or 6 months. I mean, this is a long-term project that's going to have reverberations in the community for many, many years.
Thank you, Governor. Now, Anthony, as you mentioned, you used to live in Meridian. What are some of the differences you see today from your time previous?
There's a lot. I think I'd have to say the rebirth of downtown. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful downtown. One of the prettiest, I think, in the state. The entryway off in 22nd coming in is beautiful. You have the Children's Museum, and of course you have the Max. You have this facility. You have 3 Foot. A lot of those facilities, when we were here, were in disrepair or not here at all. And so it's just a fantastic downtown. You have Mississippi State's presence here, which I think is significant for the city and for economic development. Meridian Community College is a fantastic school. We do a lot with them as a company. We partner with them a lot. Matter of fact, we have a lineman training program with them. So just a lot going for the city of Meridian, and especially downtown.
Thank you. We're glad our hard work is evident. Now, Dr. Keenum, what kinds of investments do we need to make as a state to ensure the success of projects like the one we are celebrating here this afternoon?
Well, clearly, from my perspective, I think the best investment of using taxpayer dollars are investing in higher education and being able to educate and train the next generation of workers to work in these advanced fields, career opportunities, like we're talking about with Compass Datacenters and other affiliated type industries. As I mentioned earlier, we pride ourselves in what we're doing in preparing the next generation of young leaders to work in our state, and we need to create opportunities for our graduates to stay here in Mississippi and be productive citizens and contribute to our state economy, to help the governor and his team grow and bring even more companies and industries to Mississippi. As Anthony mentioned, Meridian, my goodness, you're the home of one of the nation's leading research universities right here in this community. You got a great community college. President Huebner, who's here with Meridian Community College. You've got East Central Community College just down the road. You've got great education right here to support this particular company and industry for workers and professionals. And that's what it's going to take for Mississippi to continue to grow and move forward, is to have a strong higher education component in our state. And we're proud to be a leader in this. And so, and we're proud to have a governor who understands this and is willing to step up and support our universities and our community college system in our state. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Keenum.
Oh, one other thing before, if you don't mind. Give me a microphone. Speaking of Mississippi State and something important to us in our tradition, AJ, I have a special gift I want to present to you. Now that you are here and you're at Bulldog Country, I'm going to have a very special Mississippi State bag. That's your name on it.
Keenum, I think that was the most important presentation you've done. All right, Mr. Byers, this should be an easy one for you, but we're all curious. Why are so many data centers being built now? It seems like the industry is really taking off. What's driving this growth and exposure?
For sure, but before I do that, back to the most interesting event I've ever been to. That is definitely the most interesting gift I've ever been given. Thank you very much. Why are data centers taking off? It's funny, I was talking to someone in the last couple of weeks about the first data center I ever built in 1999. I think it was 15,000 square feet, and it was 1 megawatt. And we've seen lots of step scales over the last 25 years. But what we saw in the last couple of years with the advent of AI and the general availability of it to the general population and to companies is a massive increase in the amount of demand for compute power to drive AI. And we're seeing that in our cars, we're seeing that with you using ChatGPT on your phones, whatever it might be. But it is really AI driven, the increase in demand. And for a company like us, we're probably seeing a 200 to 300% increase in demand. Our customers, who Bobby mentioned are the largest technology companies in the world, used to try to build 50 to 60% of their facilities themselves, and then they leverage companies like ours for the rest. And they've always told us, just so you know, soon we won't need you, we're just gonna build them all ourselves. And what they told us recently is we're going to strive to do 20% ourselves if you guys could do the other 80%. So we're seeing a huge increase. Our customers our customers and our customers' customers have an insatiable demand for data, which is driving the increased growth.
Thank you. Please join me in thanking all these gentlemen for the work that they put together that will benefit Meridian, Lauderdale County for decades into the future.